Hey everybody, welcome back to Market Mama's channel. Today we're super stoked to talk to you guys about one of our very favorite qualities in any human and definitely in trading. And we found this in ourselves as we're developing. And the topic today is going to be grit that Angela Duckworth wrote an amazing book on. And so we're going to get into that today as our next must read for you all.
Yes. So we have long since talked about how important our individual grit level has been to our perseverance in the trading world. It's a major component, I think, to those of us that stick it out for the long game and the best achievements. So before we get deeper into the topic, let's introduce the author of the book Grit a bit more. So Angela Duckworth, she is a pioneering psychologist who has experience with teaching, business consulting, and neuroscience. And as the daughter of a scientist herself, she has led many published studies over the years. So through her groundbreaking work, she even earned the coveted MacArthur Genius Award. To explain and emphasize her theories on grit being a special blend of passion and long-term perseverance, she discusses how to learn from the teachers in some of the toughest schools, cadets new to West Point, National Spelling Bee contestants, and even established high achievers such as Seattle Seahawks coach Pete Carroll. I just love all the ways that she covered this topic in her book Grit, and of course, drew so many parallels to my trading journey.
Right. It's definitely a topic we can all relate to so much in our own journeys for sure. So, for example, one quote from Angela is, "It's not looking backwards with dissatisfaction. It's looking forward and wanting to grow." Gosh, does that fit completely with the experience of learning to be a consistently profitable trader? Learning trading involves losses that feel like a punch to the gut, a knife to the heart, and a huge blow to our ego. That's just the reality, and there's no way around it. Forget about taking it out on Miss Market because you will not overpower her at all. When I have that built up frustration and tension that's keeping me from processing in a productive and forward focused approach, I box. Just keeping it real. It's one of my outlets. And Becky knows on a battle day, I'm going to give my bag a good beat down. And after this exercise, I can clearly see that those feelings of lack and frustration, they're just the demons and they don't serve me. And I can remind myself of how gritty and strong physically and mentally I truly am. That's what it really comes down to. We can fixate on these lessons or potential days and let them drain or threaten our progress, or we can choose to process the lessons with empowering techniques and just really keep our eye on the prize. The growth and momentum we're actually experiencing in real time.
Oh, yes, that is such a great outlet that you harness, Kendra. That's awesome. So I really like where Duckworth talked about the power of deliberate practice. So I don't know that I had heard that phrase that way before her, or at least I had retained it. But the way that she explained it, they were so good. At one point, she was describing some of the most successful among us and how those people love the burn. It's the people that actually thrive on the pressures and challenges of pushing up to higher and harder levels and never relenting. When you can actually enjoy deliberate practice and painstaking effort towards your dreams, those people are more successful by her studies. One specific example that she offered is on the spelling bee contestants with this excerpt. The most important finding was that the type of practice mattered tremendously. Deliberate practice predicted advancing to further rounds in advanced competition far better than any other kind of preparation. And this concept makes sense, right? When you are mindlessly rereading the same chapter of a book over and over and trying to stay engaged, 3 hours of putting forth that energy, it's nowhere near a comparison to 3 hours with the same chapter, reading it, highlighting key points that you really liked as you go, handwriting notes for a later review, and then practicing the concepts immediately after. The outcome of those hours of time, seemingly both dedicated to the same cause, will create wildly different outcomes because of the actual impact made in your mind to your cause. So, whether it be studying for a spelling contest or learning from a mentor and then backtesting key setups that you're working to master in your trading, when we do something with truly focused attention and dedication, that is deliberate practice, and it really does make sense as a metric for how you can delineate the high achievers from the half-assers. And as the old saying goes, you get out of a thing what you put in.
Yes. When I miss a solid setup within my edge and trade plan, I can choose A, to be annoyed, vent about it to my partner. And let's be real, I'm definitely going to do that for sure. But then the next move, option B, which is the best move, is to get out and get over my pettiness, my resentfulness and entitled attitude, and screenshot the chart, mark up the setup, break down market context, the best entry point, all the confluences, all that jazz. And then all of a sudden, it's not for nothing. I made it a learning opportunity and I extracted that value, which suddenly then only just adds to my chances of recognizing, acting, and executing better in the future. So also share it with someone. You need to share your work with someone because that is an inspiration to them. And likewise, when they share their work with you, it's an inspiration to you. So it's motivating. Something that really backs this up for me is another quote from Angela about a characteristic of grit, being that it truly does put us in a driver's seat. So here it goes. Grit rests upon the expectation that our own efforts will improve our future. I have a feeling tomorrow will be better is different than I resolve to make tomorrow better. The hope that gritty people have has nothing to do with luck and everything to do with getting back up again. Hell yes. We're not hoping to be a successful trader. Hope is a beautiful, lovely expression, but that's exactly what it is. It's a feeling that has to be matched with action. We are putting in the work day after day, night after night to earn our goals. When we fall into failure and the occasional weak defeatist mindset, we accept it as part of the game, but it's a choice to stay there or claw our way up and back out of it. We study, take notes, backtest strategies, confer with our close friends from our locker room, and then like the sun rises and sets, we ride its on, bruised up, blisters and all. That's just the only option. There's no other option for us at this point. That's all we'll accept. And one of my mantras I developed early on in learning how to trade really expressed this as well. And that was, no one is coming to do this for me, and everyone would accept if I decided not to. Mind you, this was before I had people in my foxhole. So there are some people now who will not accept if I decided not to. Anyways, to continue, but F it, I'm going to do it anyway. So that was my grit driving me and giving me determination even back then, even before I knew and understood the totality of how hard trading would really be. So I can speak it now with just even more conviction. And like Angela says, keep getting up again.
Yes. Oh my goodness. I completely agree. This next part I really love. Most gritty people see their ultimate aims as deeply connected to the world beyond themselves. For most people, purpose is a tremendously powerful source of motivation. I love that. This is so true for Kendra and I with our trading, but on a larger scale with our community, with you all, with Market Mamas, even more so. It's a major why for us that we could be of positive influence to other developing traders that are in the heart of their struggle months and years as well. So we are greatly motivated by the idea that us coming to you all week after week with our most authentic selves to offer up our learning opportunities as an example of this journey and what tips and trips could help us all. Having a purpose, driving our efforts with composing topics and discussions that are valuable to us and hence maybe for you too, that purpose absolutely provides strength to keep putting in the late nights and early mornings that Kendra and I do pretty much every day. We really love the opportunity to help bring up as many early traders with us to our biggest successes together. There's room for all of us at the top. So this constant hustling that Kendra and I are all about, that isn't really the norm in our society though, right? So Angela said this in her book. We all face limits, not just in talent or opportunity, but more often than we think, our limits are self-imposed. We try, fail, and conclude we've bumped our heads against the ceiling of possibility. Or maybe after taking just a few steps, we change direction. In either case, we never venture as far as we might have. I think that's the human element, right? The path of least resistance. It's easier, safer, calmer. Human nature is self-preservation and survival at a core. But we've evolved pretty significantly since the primitive years. And so our pursuits now, we can have so many more opportunities that are really valid. It is appealing in many ways to most people to quit when the road gets too bumpy and unknown, to revert to the security and comforts of the known instead of pushing to the nerve-wracking unknown that you have no idea what the actual outcome could be. But then we never really know how great we could have been when we stop before we reach the vein of gold in our mine or the breakthrough in our trading consistency. But to Angela's point in her book, those among us with the highest levels of grit, we live for the push, the hustle, the see what's around the next switchback if I just keep climbing. I have discovered that, and it's definitely in me, and I embrace it. It's kind of exciting.
It totally is. And that's total cleaner energy right there. Shout out to Relentless fans. Another must read we did. We're building a whole Market Mama library for you guys. So if you haven't watched that, make sure you tune into that as well. Mm-hmm. So we know gaining confidence in our roles didn't just happen overnight. Angela also said, no one wants to show you the hours and hours of becoming. Everyone wants to show you the highlight of what they've become. This is so true. I recently, just last night, went to a business mixer, and I literally had that quote in my mind, and it just came out of me. And I was like, goodness, that's why Becky and I created Market Mamas, because we don't want that just to come at you guys with the highlight reel once, we're mega successful. We are here to embrace the struggle of the now and live in it and out fully in these moments. Our value add is in the now. We got to give a credit to EP Eddie Finero, who's Your World Within podcast, really drilled that into our minds. This authenticity with difficulties of the journey is actually what makes it very cool and such a worthwhile pursuit. So these are the hours of grit showing up, taking us through, giving us new raw material our podcast episodes are created from. We're double dipping, cross-utilizing, just maxing out our productivity, basically using every piece of the animal that gave its life. We're not wasting any of this, you guys. Not a moment, a day, or a year. This is the good stuff right here. It's what we're living in when we're stressed out as hell and confused. It's what winning looks like. Got to share this Instagram reel that literally could not embody this more. When I first heard it, it was like, okay, I'm finally seen. So we're going to share that with you all, and hopefully you love it just as much.
Driven human beings are going to always feel like they're behind. They're going to always feel like they're not doing good enough. They're going to always feel like they're not far enough. They're going to always feel like you're losing. Look, winning, this is how it feels. 90% of the time, you're going to feel like you're getting your balls kicked in. All right. 8% of the time, you're going to be confused and you're frustrated. 2% of the time, you actually win. And those moments come and go, and then you're back in the 90%. And that's the reality of a winner's life. People don't understand that. They think it's all about cruising around in a cool car, having a free and happy and easy and go lucky life. And that's not reality, because true winners are built for the fucking fight. They're built for the battle. They don't find peace and joy and happiness in the win. They find what they're looking for in the fight.
From Andy Friesa, hopefully I said his name right. He's amazing. He is a wonderful self-made success story from the bottom up. Hopefully you all enjoyed that and got value from it, because I certainly did.
Yeah, he's so raw and real there, and it's really on point. So it's good energy. I really like a major point of the discussion around grit, the fact that it is a choice. So on this, Angela wrote, when you keep searching for ways to change your situation for the better, you stand a chance at finding them. When you stop searching, assuming they can't be found, you guarantee they won't. So that is such a clear statement to me. If you are determined to do better, figure out what is holding you back, find another way through, then you really can figure things out and find a way. I really believe that. There are mentors, courses, practice opportunities, friends to study with, There's really kind of always ways to keep working at your chosen mission. So, to put it another way, thinking of yourself as someone who is able to overcome tremendous adversity often leads to behavior that confirms that conception, right? I love that idea. This comes down to personal belief. You guys probably have too, but I've read and heard so much about the power of our beliefs. This is another great way to see it. Part of my affirmations and self-talk tracks is infusing my mind with these exact types of beliefs, choosing to see the successful trader that I am, not just saying it, but I work to hear it in my heart and believe that I actually really am a consistent, disciplined, intuitive, regimented, and fully capable and worthy to be a profitable day trader. By knowing this about who I am, based on my dedication and my effort that I give to this pursuit day after day, it's slowly sinking deeper into my subconscious. And now it's like starting to reveal itself in my outcomes. But I'm going to be real, it's not a quick change. I've been working at this relentlessly. But by choosing these thoughts consistently, it is leading to behaviors that are getting me to my goals. And so I really believe in the power of these concepts she put in this book.
We're going to wrap it up here soon. But first, big thanks to our viewers for tuning in, all that we have to share with you all. We appreciate you guys being here with us. And in case anyone doesn't know, we also upload every episode to all the major podcast apps like Spotify, Apple Music, iHeartRadio, just to name a few. And we're hitting 60 episodes soon, you guys. So it's pretty amazing. Also, I want to leave you guys with some fun facts for you all that have just really inspired me lately. So did you guys know that only 1% of the entire world's population runs marathons? That's crazy, right? Well, I feel fortunate enough to know real people in that group, and I'm well on my way to be included in that statistic. Likewise, there are a very, very small percentage of individuals who are also able to be significantly successful and profitable in trading. Well, guess what? Becky and I are also blessed to know real people in that group too, and we are well on our way to becoming among those individuals as well. In addition, I found that after 3 years, only 13% of day traders remain. So why are we still standing here in this arena then? I'd imagine our answer is similar to why marathon runners push their body's physical comfort and push their mental limits. It's grit. It's this courage, and it can't be contained. The personal challenge just never ends. And the competition to be a better version of ourselves than a year ago, than a month ago, than a week ago, a day ago, it's just always itching at our heels. Can't escape it.
Yes, well put. That's some good statistics. Like, we are overcoming the odds and pushing ourselves, and it's pretty cool. I really like the topic of grit. It's such a good characteristic in general. And I enjoyed Angela Duckworth's book on the subject and the power that myself and others, all of us, have harnessed from choosing consistent grit. It makes me want to dig even deeper into staying fully dedicated to my passion of day trading and everything that surrounds it. Okay, one last excerpt from this book that really summarizes it so well. Here we go. To be gritty is to keep putting one foot in front of the other. To be gritty is to hold fast to an interesting and purposeful goal. To be gritty is to invest day after week after year in challenging practice. To be gritty is to fall down 7 times and rise 8. There you have it. I say we embrace being gritty and go for it, whatever our hearts and minds are driven to, no matter the bruises we sustain on the journey. Thank you. Thanks for catching us at this episode today and always showing up for us. If you would, please like and subscribe to our channel. It really means a lot to us that we're starting to actually reach more and more people and have some interesting dialogues. And everything we do, everything we bring up is for really the betterment and greater success for all of us. So anyways, thank you. Oh, and also check out our website. It's www.market-mamas.com. So we now have our merchandise on there that you guys can purchase so you can have us with you on your day-to-day pursuits, with your morning coffee. Cheers. So check it out and have a great day, everyone. Bye.
Take care. Bye.